Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl, the Brooke Ashley, and today we are here to discuss The Real Housewives of Potomac, Season 5, Episode 13. Guys, this episode was a doozy. I have my fresh braids in, honey, because you know the doll loves her braids, so you guys already know I'm about to be on 10. No, I'm joking. But this episode was something else. So without further ado, grab your Prosecco like me and let's get on into it. We start this episode off with Gizelle. You guys already know I am no Gizelle fan, okay? So it's always painful. We got to start it off with her, okay? But nevertheless, we started off with Miss Bryant, and she is at a jewelry store, and she's like looking at some jewelry, looking at some rings, talking about how for her next ring from Pastor Jamal Bryant, she's gonna want a 10-carat ring because she got a 5-carat when they first got married. But she's like, I want double for my trouble. All them outside children, all the infidelities. I mean, yeah, I would want a 10-carat ring too if I was gonna go back to a cheater, but, and I mean, that's no shade. But if you're gonna go back to somebody who did you wrong like that, yeah, I would want a 15-carat ring, to be very honest with you, but I digress. She's still looking at really nice rings and, taking pictures to show Pastor Jamal or what she wants when the time comes for them. So in walks Juan Dixon. He comes on in, and so she's telling the saleswoman that he is there because he wants to look at rings to re-propose to his ex-wife. Yeah, as you guys all know that Robyn and Juan were married before, and then they divorced due to financial issues and due to his infidelities. But now they are on the other side of all that, and they want to try this thing again. So while he's looking at big old beautiful diamonds, he picks up like a $58,000 ring, and he was like, slow down, partner. Like, we just got $10 in the bank. I'm gonna need to make this stretch. So our budget is gonna be in the $8,000 to $10,000 range. And I was like, that's a very good range, I think, especially for somebody who, they've built their money back up or somewhat up. I mean, he was an NBA player making millions, and to have lost it, I'm sure it kind of sucked to, not be able to just drop like 50 grand or 100 grand on a diamond. You know what I'm saying? But I said, hey, from where they've come from to now, they're on like getting on the other side. I think 8 to 10,000 is a good range. So while they're talking about the budgets, they stumble upon a really gorgeous ring and Gizelle even tried it on, but it was stunning, and it was $89.50. And I said, look at that, Juan, you're in the budget. You didn't want to go over 10,000 and you're under 9,000, $89.50, good for you. So, that was good to, see them come to a decision. I hope they chose that ring because that ring was really, really pretty. So the next scene is Monique, and she's home and she's getting ready for her Not for Lazy Moms event. And we see that her godfather Pearl is in town, and I guess he's staying with them, and he's helping her, I guess, get ready for the event as well. While they were like, stuffing the goodie bags and laying them all out, she's talking to him about the altercation. Pearl got her together because he was like, there's obviously an underlying issue because there's just no like logical reason why you would just throw hands and start fighting. And I was very happy when he was like, it's an underlying issue with you, because no sane person is just fighting. I'm sorry. Like, if we're having an argument, we keep it at an argument. Like I've said for like the 300 millionth time, that Housewives is all about shade and verbal sparring. And if you can't keep up with an argument, and if you have to resort to your hands, well, then this isn't the show for you, because it's not. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you can't keep up with shade and, you know, a battle of the tongues, then this is the wrong show, period. I'm not going to sit up here and condone fighting ever. Ever. Unless somebody is threatening your life, or, you know, you're in a crazy situation where you have to fight, or someone's going to kill you. You know what I'm saying? That's the only time I can condone fighting. But this is not a life or death situation. Monique is just dead wrong. I'm going to keep saying that until the wheels fall off. I'm going to keep saying that till I'm blue in the face. I'm going to keep saying that. I'm just going to keep saying that until this season is over and this show is off of our screens. Monique is wrong. Period. Another thing that really got me aggravated was when Monique said, I'm just now starting to feel bad and I feel remorseful. And I really wanted to call her up and apologize right after it happened. We see that that is a lie. Monique, for about 10 or so months, you have been on Twitter, on Instagram, going on live. You have been making, you know, jokes. You've been laughing when, you know, about beating her up. You made a song called Drag Queens, mocking the whole situation. You have done several interviews lying about how the fight got started, saying that she threw a drink in your face first, and that's how it transpired. And we all know that that is a lie. You hit her first. It's just tiring to see you constantly changing the story. It's just very tiring to see you lie. Just own up 100% and just say that I'm wrong. I had no right to put my hands on this girl, period. And I messed up. You have done so many interviews recently, still defending you fighting her and saying that she antagonized you. Like, it's craziness. So, you know, I just want you just to stop with the lies. Like, please, like, I really cannot wait for this reunion, guys, because I really just cannot wait to see what she's gonna say to get out of all these lies that she's been telling since the season has aired. Like, I'm just really curious to see what is she going to say to, like, what is she just going to do? Because she has just been lying and changing things up. She's been telling different stories. So it's just so aggravating to watch. So she calls up Robyn and she's like, hey, Robyn, I really want to invite you to my Not for Lazy Moms events. You know, I would love for you to go. And, you know, it's tense between her and Robyn. You know, Robyn, you can just tell, kind of wants to just get off the phone. And she's just like, oh, yeah, like, you know, I'll see, you know, okay, bye. And then we see in the confessional, Robyn is like, you have not changed in 2 weeks' time. Like, you're not remorseful in these 2 weeks' time. Like pretty much, I'm not going to this event. I'm not buying what you're selling me. Then next up, she calls up Karen. And of course, since Karen is still her good friend, we're going to talk about that later on. And Karen Hugerhive, y'all gonna be mad at me, baby, about what I'm about to say later on, but just stay with me, okay? Karen's like, oh, of course it's important to support, like, I'll be there. She then calls up Wendy, and Wendy was like, I doubt that I will be attending this event. You know, Monique needs to show some accountability. She needs to show some remorse. Like, I don't think I'm gonna be going to this. And then we see that she does not go. Well, none of them go, but we'll get to that later. So the next scene is Karen and Ray, and they are meeting up with a woman named Ava Laura, and she is a life coach because Ray is just so opposed to therapy. So Karen has to try all these different alternative ways to just get them some help because their marriage is really just in dire straits. And she's like, we are in the danger zone right now, and I'm trying to salvage this marriage, okay? Because we need help. So they get to talking, and the life coach asks them how long they've been married. Karen says they've been together for 25 years. They've been married for 23 years. So the life coach asks Ray first, like, what is he dealing with in the marriage? Like, what would he like to change? So, you know, he starts going on about how he is working on his third retirement, and Karen seems to have found her second wind. She is now in all these business endeavors, and she doesn't have enough time for him, and he's feeling some type of way about it. He then goes on to say, you know, back in the day when we first got married, you know, Karen was the aggressor. And, you know, when Karen was kind of like, you know, blushing, she was a little bit embarrassed because he meant like she was the aggressor when it came to sex. Like, you know, they just got it on and popping like every single time, you know. And now that has slowed down, and he's just annoyed because he feels like, you know, he used to have a housewife who was all about the house and him. And Karen was just like, excuse me, like, what? You know, she was like feeling some type of way, like, all right now, Ray, like, whatever. Now, this part had me cracking up because, okay, guys, I just want y'all to just say it. Just say it down in the comments. Brooke is right. Brooke is always right when it comes to this show. Brooke is right, okay? Did I not say it verbatim in last week's recap that Ray's issue is that he is now known as Karen Huger's husband? And what did Ray say in this episode? He said he is used to being Ray Huger and Karen being known as Ray Huger's wife. Now the tables have turned, and now it's Karen Huger is the big star, and he's now Karen Huger's husband, and he doesn't like that. But I said it, y'all. I have said it time and time again. Men cannot handle being in the back seat. They cannot handle it when the woman is the powerful one and the famous one and the one, you know, making the money. They can't. Like, I'm just saying, I know a little something about little something, and Ray is really upset that he is now being known as Karen's husband. I said, So then Karen, you know, discusses how they had the financial problems, you know, with Ray's tax issue, season 3. And she says, you know, I soldiered through like a good wife, and I used half of my money to help him and help us, you know, like erase all that and to get out of the debt and just to like clear it all. And she's like, you know, I'm not saying I need accolades for it, but like a thank you would be nice. And she's just a little bit upset because she feels that Ray hasn't said thank you for helping him when he was, you know, dealing with all that. And that's understandable. You know, that's human nature for anybody to want, you know, credit or a thank you or a pat on the back for helping somebody, especially when they were in a dark time. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of women would have left, and Karen could have easily left him. She's 20 years younger than him. You know, she's on her second wind. You know, she has money now and fame and independence. You know what I'm saying? So she could have easily left him, and nobody would have blamed her. A lot of women would have been like, oh, this old man is broke. Oh, I'm out. Oh, I'm out. They would have been like, okay, I'm going to see you later. It seemed like they finally got to a resolution because Ray finally thanked her. And he said, you know, thank you so much for being a soldier. Thank you so much for helping me and doing that. Like, I really appreciate that. And then he said, you know, I'm remorseful about that. You know, I wish that that never had happened. I wish that, you know, I had been taking care of business. Like, I just did not want to put you through that. But, you know, thank you. And you can tell, like, Karen was very just, like, happy. It was like there was kind of some restoration because I was like, wow, like, I'm finally getting that, like, thank you. You know what I'm saying? So that was a nice scene. You know, they kissed and like made up. I hope that they can make it, child. I really hope that they can make it. Karen really loves that man, and she does not want her Ray to leave, and she doesn't want to divorce him. But I said, girl, Ray, Ray, you need to get it together, and you better treat Miss Karen right, okay? So the next scene, we see Wendy and her family, and so the boys are like playing, the little baby's just sitting. The little baby is just so cute. Oh my God, she is just such a little doll. So she was like heating up the breast milk to give to the baby. And it was so funny because like the boys wanted to try like a little taste to see like what it like tasted like. And so, you know, she like gave them a little like drop, and they were just so funny. Wendy has a cute family. I'm starting to like Wendy. I'm already on Candace's side, okay? So it's Candace and Wendy for me right now this season. Everybody else can like go kick rocks. So her boys and her husband go upstairs, and so she calls up Gizelle. and she wants to invite Gizelle and the rest of the other ladies except Monique. She wants to invite them to her Wine with Wendy event, and they're going to be talking about political issues and like voting. And so she calls up Gizelle first, and she's like, Gizelle, I want to invite you to this event. Giselle's like, oh yeah, girl, you know, I'll be there. And then next she calls up Candace, and she's just asking her how she's been. And Candace is just saying, you know, she's just emotional. You know, she's just still shaken up by this whole thing. And that's understandable. Like, I would be in that bed like for months, okay, if somebody had not only humiliated me on national TV, but, you know, beat me and like try to yank my hair out of my scalp. Well, I already told y'all what I would have done. I mean, I would have let Monique hit me, and I would have fell out, and I would have come in with a neck brace, and I would have sued her, and I would have had the 4 houses. I wouldn't have thrown anything. I would have sat there like, honey, come in with that neck brace, and like, yeah, I can't move, honey. She beat me to a pulp. I'm damn near paralyzed. Yeah, I'll take the lake house. I'll take that house. I'll take the big house. I'll take this house, that house. I'll take the Bentley, the Range Rover, the Mercedes. I'm going to take all 21 million in that account. Yeah, I'm good for my pain and my suffering. Oh my goodness, I really cracked myself up, but I digress. So then Wendy asks how Candace is doing regarding Karen, and she's like, you know, it's not good because Karen keeps backpedaling, and I'm just really aggravated with that, and I need her to pick a side, or I just need her to at least, you know, just support me. And then Wendy was like, I have your back, so I got you. And it's like, that's what you need. You need people who are in your corner, okay? That's what you need. Wendy, you have officially won me over. Now, this scene was with Gizelle and Jamal. And Gizelle is driving Jamal to the airport because he needs to get back on a plane to go back to Atlanta, because you guys know that he is the pastor of New Birth Church in Atlanta. So while she's driving him, she is discussing their relationship. And it wasn't really a discussion because Jamal wasn't really saying anything. He was just sitting there looking stupid, in my opinion. But, you know, Gizelle was just pouring her heart out about, you know, where is this going? You know, where does she stand? She's not liking the long distance relationship. And then Jamal didn't really say anything. Jamal just said a whole bunch of nothing, in my opinion. He was just like, you know, I wanted to give you space. And then he said he's been waiting on her. And I was kind of like, I just feel like Gizelle is only doing this for a storyline. And I just don't believe in my heart of hearts that she wants to be with this man who has an alleged, you know, basketball team's worth of children, and someone who cheated on her multiple times before they got married and during their marriage. Like, I'm just not, it's not computing to me. And they don't have any chemistry. I thought I was going crazy. Like, is it just me, or do they not have any chemistry? I don't see it. I don't see any like sexual attraction between them. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, with Juan and Robyn, you can see, like, I think that they're both full of BS too, but I can see an attraction between the both of them. Like, I know that they are having sex. I know that they, you know what I'm saying? There is that attraction. There's a physical attraction. I don't see the attraction between either of them. Jamal looks like he could really care less. She looks like she's just forcing this for a storyline because she needs a storyline because she hasn't had a real storyline since this show has started. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying what you're selling. And the conversation in the car really solidified that for me. I was just kind of like, these seem like two people who are playing in our faces and telling us that the sky is red, and they expect us to believe it. I just really do not believe that this is real and that they really are back in love with each other. I just don't. I really don't. He said, you know, he was waiting on her the whole time, and he's in it for the long haul, and he wants her, and you know, that's his boo, that's his bae. So I said, okay, girl. I said, if you guys like it, then I love it. God bless. So we're at the day of Monique's sorry event, and before it starts, she's like trying to do some last minute checkups, and then she meets with her panelists. And so one of the moderators asks her, so, what topics can we talk about? And she's like, we can talk about anything except for the fight. I will not be answering questions about the fight. Like, cool, whatever. So while she's, waiting for the guests to trickle on in, she's nervous because she's like, we've only sold 20 tickets. And if I don't get the crowd to come, I'm going to have to eat the entire, cost. And that's just going to suck because she said she spent over $200,000 on this thing. So I'm like, a mess. So Ashley is the only housewife to show up for Monique's sorry event, and they talk for a few minutes before the event starts. And Monique says, I'm feeling kind of iced out of the group. Like, I'm really upset and sad that nobody else showed up because I always try to support. And then we find out that, Karen backed out, Robyn backed out, Wendy backed out. But she was especially annoyed with Karen because she just felt like, I've been to all of Karen's events. Like, I was at her La Dame fragrance event and I was 8 months pregnant about to pop. So she just feels like it would have been nice if Karen would have showed up because I always do the same for her. So then they're talking about the fight again, and Monique is like, now I really hit the floor at this part when Monique said she antagonizes people. I said for Monique to fix her lips and say that Candace antagonized her when you're sitting here talking to the biggest antagonizer, Ashley Darby. I said, girl, if y'all don't get out of my face, then I know something. Like, this scene between them was just so aggravating. I said, 2 clowns on my screen right now. I was 2 through, y'all. I mean, I was ready to go. Then, of course, Ashley, because she just can't help herself, she always has to stir up contention and drama and always has to instigate and make a bad situation even worse. She then goes on to repeat Karen telling Candace that she would have pressed charges had she been in that situation too. So Monique's just like, wait, what? Like, I thought that, Karen was my friend and, Karen always supports me. So I'm just really shocked to hear that she'd be telling Candace that she should have pressed charges. Girl, she should have pressed charges, and I'm glad she did press charges because you should not be putting your hands on anybody. Period. You're wrong. You guys, I will be so happy when this show is off my screen, y'all. I just will be so happy because I am tired. This show will not raise my blood pressure. I refuse, okay? I refuse to let this show raise my blood pressure, okay? I refuse. So the event starts, and it seems like more people bought tickets because it looked like a packed house. I said it was either a packed house or either production put out a casting call on Craigslist and said, hey, come to this Real Housewives event for a $25 Visa gift card and some craft services. They do that. I have some stories. The first question is, where are you and Candace at in your friendship? And Monique is kind of like, are you serious? And so she answers with a very, I guess, sarcastic reply, like, just pray for us. And then, the moderator's like, oh, well, okay then. The next scene, we see Robyn and her whole family. She has her boys and she has Juan, and they are at the bowling alley. And she is waiting for her parents to get there so they can just talk. And she wants to talk about her tax issues because she's nervous. She just wonders if they've seen, the news reports and the blogs about how she owes the IRS. And so, she's talking to Juan, and Juan's like, it's going to be okay. Like, relax. Her parents get there, and I was cracking up because Robyn was like, hey, mom, hey, dad, like, how's everything been? And then she, dropped the bomb that she has the tax issues. And the mom was like, yeah, I saw it the other day on Instagram. And she's like, what? So I was just cracking up. Like, they weren't even fazed by it. They were just kind of like, just pay it, cooperate with the IRS. You're going to be fine. You're going to be good. It's no big deal. Then Robyn heads on to the bathroom, and Juan calls the boys over and is like, hey, come here, I got something to tell you. So then he tells the parents that he wants to propose again to Robyn, and he wants to make that next step, and he just wants to know if he has their blessing. The parents are like, I think you guys are fine. I think the love is still there, and it looks like you guys have, gotten over the hump of all of your challenges. You have our blessing. And the boys are really excited. It was just so cute to see, the boys, like they were just very excited and happy, and they wanted to tell Robyn. They're like, can we tell mommy? And he's like, no, like it's a secret. Mommy can't know. Don't say anything. That was a really cute, touching moment, a cute little family scene with them. I said, okay. I said, Robyn says she's going to secure her storyline for another season, because I guess season 6 will be the wedding. And then, season 7 will be her and Juan playing in our faces, talking about they're going to have a third child. I'm calling it right now, because I'm always right about these things, y'all. I am always right. That's going to be her storylines for season 6 and 7. Watch. Then we have the last scene of the night, and it is Wendy's big event, and it is the Wine with Wendy / Black Girls Vote. Everybody comes except Monique, because Monique was not invited. Robyn shows up in some hideous wig. I was like, now Robyn girl, you are in, DC, Chocolate City. There is no excuse to be sporting a bad weave, wig, a bad hair day, when you have all these beauty supply stores, wig shops, hair salons. There's no excuse for that. But no, they were all ragging on Robyn. And I said, now Karen, because Karen was trying to be real smart, like, Robyn needs to burn that look. And I was like, now dear, now Miss Karen, seasons 1 and 2, your wigs were atrocious, okay? So let's not act brand new. Let's not act like we've always had it together now, okay? The event starts, and Wendy was really in her element. It was really good to see. Like, she did a great job. She's a great public speaker. She could really hold her own. She was making, great points. She did a role-playing activity, pretending where I guess she was a politician, and she was answering a constituent's questions or concerns. And she just did a really good job. The event looked fun. It looked like people got something out of it. It was nice to see all those, beautiful Black women all in one setting. So I loved it. I really enjoyed watching Wendy, and I hope that we see more of that, going forward, because I feel like they haven't painted Wendy in the best light so far, and that's annoying to not really get to know somebody until like later on in the season. But yeah, I really liked seeing Wendy at her event. When the event is over, it's time for them to eat and, have some drinks. Candiace asks if Karen would go down to the bar with her, and they can just talk privately and just, air out their issues, whatever grievances they have. They go downstairs. And while they're downstairs, Gizelle makes a comment that I thought was completely uncalled for and just out of left field, because she said, I feel like Karen is hiding. I don't think that Karen is happy. I think that Karen is miserable, and I just want to be a good friend to her. Gizelle just loves to stir up mess and drama and contention, and it's very sad. And then when she revealed to the other ladies what Wendy had told her about what Karen said at the lake house about Karen giving Ray half of her money, I was like, that was just totally uncalled for. Again, it is so crazy to me how Gizelle and Ashley get away with murder on this show, and they've been getting away with murder on this show for ages, for seasons, since this show has began. But the other ladies were kind of co-signing, like, yeah, I agree. And it was kind of like, Gizelle, you didn't have to bring that up. Wendy just had a really nice event. Why do you have to start talking about Karen's issues and Karen's problems? And let me just wrap this scene up with when Gizelle and then we're talking about Karen. And then Gizelle brought up Monique again. And Ashley then turned and said, I'm on Monique's side because Monique helped me during that time with Michael last season with the butt grab. And I said, there's definitely something with Monique and Ashley. I believe in my heart of hearts that there is footage of Michael and Ashley, and Monique agreed that she would destroy the evidence and not, report it or turn it in to the police or the authorities, because she knew that she would need Ashley's support and Ashley's loyalty for whatever she was going to pull. And now she has Ashley's complete loyalty. So it's really a mess. And the other ladies were kind of just in shock, like, it's not making sense for why you're riding so hard for Monique and why you're on her side. So we see Candace and Karen, and they're at the bar and they are hashing it out. And Candace is kind of like, you seem to be coddling Monique and you seem to be supporting Monique, and it's just not making sense, Karen. And Karen just went off. Karen went a little bit off the rails to me. She started yelling and raising her voice and calling her a young lady and lecturing her and saying that Candace has a brilliant mind, but she has a even more powerful mouth. And I'm like, and Ashley doesn't have a powerful and reckless, crazy mouth. Like, I'm just not understanding what these ladies are seeing. Like, is anybody else catching this? It can't just be me who is like, how has nobody confronted Ashley for her reckless mouth? How? But we all know why, but whatever. And Candace was just getting emotional. Candace was getting annoyed. Like, I just don't understand how you can be in support of Monique. Like, this woman beat my behind on national TV, and I don't understand how you can sit up here and coddle her and act like she didn't do anything wrong. And Karen was like, no, I did tell her that she was wrong. And yes, Karen did tell her that she was wrong, but you know what's really funny to me? Earlier, I was watching season 2 of Potomac. I was watching the first 4 episodes. There was an argument between Charisse and Gizelle, season 2. Robyn was in the middle because she was good friends with Charisse. She had known Charisse longer than she had known Gizelle. Karen says, episode 2, when they're all together to hash out the drama between Charisse and Gizelle, Karen says, Robyn, you're going back and forth between both of them. Like, shouldn't your loyalty be to Gizelle? So it's really funny to me how things come full circle. Now Karen finds herself in the middle, and now she doesn't want to choose. When season 2, she was riding Robyn and causing dissension between Gizelle and her because she felt that Robyn wasn't being loyal to Gizelle. She thought that, Robyn should have been automatically on Giselle's side. I just said, you know what, Karen, I'm not going to say that I dislike Karen, but I am going to say that I can't sit up here and stand. I am disappointed in Karen, and right now I will be standing for Candace. And I never thought I would be saying that, but here we are. While Candace and Karen are going back and forth, Wendy comes down to see how they're doing. And Wendy was telling Karen, like, Karen, you need to tell Monique that she's wrong. Like, you need to condemn Monique and stand up for the side of right. And so Karen started raising her voice at both of them and was like, you're not going to tell me what to do. I can be friends with both of them. I'm just going to be in the middle. I'm not going to choose. I'm not going to choose. Karen said, there's something medically wrong with Monique and I'm waiting on the test results. I was like, okay, girl. And then Karen, to defend herself and defend her stance on not picking a side, she says, well, Candace, I was on your side last year and I didn't agree with everything that you did and everything that you said. And it's funny to me because Karen is one of those people who she wants loyalty when somebody's doing something to her. And I just find it very funny that now she is having a hard time doing the right thing. In my opinion, I just kind of believe that for somebody who is so esteemed in the Grand Dame, I'm just very surprised that she is not completely appalled by Monique putting her hands on somebody. Candace rebuts what Karen is saying about there's nothing medically wrong with her. Like, she has a pattern of this. And she's like, this is not her first time threatening somebody. Like, this woman is a fighter. And Karen just keeps going with, I'm not going to be badgered by picking a side. Honestly, nothing really got resolved between her and Candace. Candace and Wendy end up going back up the stairs. And Wendy ends the episode by saying to Candace, I got your back. Y'all, I will be so happy for this show to be over. I am just done. Like, this review took it all out of me, okay? Anyways, guys, tell me what you thought about the episode. You guys know I love your comments because we get it popping in the comment section. So make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I will see you guys later. Bye, y'all.